Hi all and welcome to my channel. I'm both excited and terrified for this video because this is the first long form video where I don't talk about physics or science or something I'm familiar with, okay? So this is totally unexplored territory for me, but hey, everyone starts from somewhere, okay? Even Robert Rodriguez, I think he's cousins with Tarantino filmed El Mariachi, the film, alone, okay, with a single camera. So I'm not claiming to be Robert Rodriguez though, but hey, I went outdoors. Okay, this is not the first time I go outdoors to film a video. I actually did a few reels for my Instagram, and some of those reels were also uploaded as shorts here on my channel, but I deleted them because I don't know. I felt like they didn't fit very well in the channel. But anyway, those of you who are constant viewers of my channel, I don't know if such viewers actually exist, are familiar with my physics teaching. And most of the material that I have in the channel is A-level physics, okay? But the original plan for making this channel was to talk about anything that I'm curious about or interested in, okay? And this is what this video is about, okay? I became interested in the saga of Richard the Lionhearted and Queen Berengaria, okay? So I wanted to do some research, but I'm out of my depth, okay? I'm a physicist who tried to make some short video about Queen Berengaria, but I'm gonna throw some information here as we watch, by the way, a video where we are driving up the Troodos Mountains. So the Troodos Mountains are some mountains in the center of Cyprus. Okay, actually, Cyprus is a mountain that rises from the sea geologically. I mean, I think it rises by a few centimeters per century or something like that. So it's actually two mountains. But anyway, we are driving up the Troodos Mountains to go find a hotel called Berengaria, okay, which was named after Queen Berengaria. Okay, who was Queen Berengaria, and what was the story of this hotel? Okay, where do we start? Let's talk about the hotel briefly. So it's built in a really great location. I mean, when I went there, it's a magical place. It was the first time I went there. So the hotel was built in 1931 and abandoned in the 80s. I think 1985 it closed down because they couldn't make money anymore out of it. I mean, story as long as time. And it was made by local stone, so it ties well with the environment. It's really good. And back in the day, it was, I mean, when I say back in the day, I mean up to a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, it was a ghost hotel and people went there and it was full of graffiti and stuff like that. But now you cannot enter the location anymore because since 2020, someone is trying to renovate it. But when I went there, I was expecting to see a hotel ready to operate, but it's not even close. Okay, so it was sad that I couldn't enter the location to show you what it looks like, but whatever. Okay, I mean, down this video, you will see some shots from outside the hotel. Okay, so this is the story of the hotel. The family who owned the hotel was called Kokalos family. If any of them are still around, and if they watch this video, let me know because I want to know more about the hotel. It was exciting. But anyway, now let's talk about Queen Berengaria. She was the first and only queen, from what I saw. There was another one, but it's a claim. Okay, so as far as I researched, and again, this is not my area of expertise. Okay, so it was a light search for the purpose of this video. Okay, so from what I saw, she was the first and only queen of England that was crowned outside of England, and she was crowned here in Cyprus, actually. Okay, and she lived all her life as queen outside of England. Okay, so the story goes back to 1191. Okay, Richard the Lionhearted sails from Messina to modern day Syria to participate in the Third Crusade. Okay, he runs into a storm. Okay, and some of his ships are scattered, and they find themselves aground in Cyprus. Okay, one of those ships had Berengaria, who was brought over from Messina in Sicily to the Holy Lands by his mother. Okay, so Berengaria was the princess of Navarre. Okay, so she was a Spanish princess, and the and Richard the Lionhearted's mother was doing the, I don't know, the dating thing, whatever. What is it called? It was an arranged marriage, I guess. Okay, so she brought the princess with her, and in one of the ships again that wrecked in Cyprus was Berengaria and Joan, the sister of Richard the Lionhearted, who was freshly widowed from the king of Sicily. Okay, so the story is that Isaac Komnenos, who was the ruler of Cyprus at that point, and he became the ruler with shady ways in 1185, so 6 years prior to this event. Okay, so he went there and he tried to capture the two princesses, and he was planning to ask for ransom and stuff like that. He also imprisoned some of the soldiers that he found in the shipwrecks, etc. So Richard eventually made it here to Cyprus to save the princess and his sister and his army, etc. And a war broke out between Isaac Komnenos and Richard actually won the war and founded the Kingdom of Cyprus. Okay, the Kingdom of Cyprus was a medieval kingdom here in Cyprus that was eventually ruled by French kings. Okay, and the first such king was Guy de Lusignan, who I think bought the island from Richard. Okay, so this is the story. We are talking about 1191. Okay, about 1,000 years ago, and Guy de Lusignan ruled Cyprus until I think 1571. Okay, when no, much earlier. I think 1489, and I think he ruled from 1192 to 1489, when Venetians came here to Cyprus from Italy and became the new rulers of Cyprus. Okay, but I don't want this to be a historical video because again I'm outside my depth. I just wanted you to see something cool from Cyprus, me driving up the Troodos Mountains, and in a few minutes down the video I'm gonna stop talking at some point and you will just see the video of me driving. Okay, and I have a few short clips from various locations where I show modern shipwrecks here in Cyprus, and I also went to the medieval castle of Limassol. Okay, which is a castle that was built by the Venetians initially, and then rebuilt by the Ottoman Turks. Okay, and that was the location where King Richard married Queen Berengaria. Okay, and this happened in 1191 because inside that medieval castle there was St. George's chapel that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, it doesn't exist. I can't find it because it doesn't exist. But in its place, it's the castle, the medieval castle of Limassol, and you will see me talking about the castle down the line in this video. Okay, so this is a little bit of a candid video. I feel very uncomfortable doing it, but I just wanted to do it. Okay. And okay, I think this is a good place to shut up. Is there anything else to talk about? Okay, except for the two modern shipwrecks that you will see in the video from my hometown, there are many other shipwrecks that are famous here in Cyprus. Two of the most famous that drew my attention is MS Zinovia, a Swedish cargo ship that sank here in Cyprus in its maiden voyage. So that's sad. It happened in June 1980. Even I was not born back then. And the Kerinia ship, okay, which was discovered by Andreas Kargiolu, who was a diving instructor. Okay, in 1965, he found the shipwreck while diving, and then he lost the location, and then he was searching for it and found it again in 1967 when an expedition from the University of Pennsylvania under Michael Kadzev, who was a graduate student at the time, came here to Cyprus, and from 1967 to 1969, they excavated the Kerinia ship. And originally, the Kerinia ship was used during Alexander the Great's time in 294 BC. Okay, so as you can see, there is a long history of shipwrecks here in Cyprus. I think the problem is that it's windy. It's very windy right outside Cyprus. So I'm assuming that that's the reason why so many ships sank here in Cyprus. And also it's rocky. I mean, if you go a little bit outside, probably your normal route, you will run into rocky terrains and stuff like that. Even though I am an islander, I'm not very interested in seafaring. So, I mean, that's this is as much as I can talk about. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up and let you finish this ascent to Berengaria Hotel, and we will resume from there. Okay.
Turn left. Continue for 1 kilometer. Continue for 1 kilometer. In 400 meters, turn left.
Okay, guys, this is another episode from the saga about Berengaria and King Richard the Lionhearted. And I'm on top of the world, literally. So I'm gonna turn the camera and show you around. Top of the world in terms of standing on one of the highest locations in Cyprus. In terms of altitude, I believe it's about 1900 meters. So yeah, Cyprus is mostly famous for the sea and stuff, but Cyprus is actually a mountain that rises from the sea. Actually, two mountains that rise from the sea. Anyway, regarding Berengaria, the plan was to show you this hotel. It's behind me. It's a construction site now. So this hotel is called the Berengaria Hotel. Okay, it was built in 1931 after investment by some rich person, I guess, who was in the real estate business or something. I don't know much about him. His name was Kokalos. So this hotel was built in 1931, but gradually in the 80s it started going broke pretty much because not a lot of people wanted to come and have their vacations up in the mountains of Cyprus, and the sea eventually won. But anyway, it was abandoned and it was like a ghost place up until 2020 when they started fixing it. Okay, so they are rebuilding it. I'm gonna turn the camera and show you a little bit. So you can see it's a really nice place. I mean, if they fix it, it's going to be impressive. It's built with local stone, as was the tradition at the time. So let me try to go around. So I can probably jump this and enter the construction site, but that will be trespassing on camera, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm a good climber. I I used to be, at least. I don't know, but this seems like something I can climb. So, but anyway, I'm not gonna do it. So let me turn the camera back to me. Okay, so I'm gonna walk a little bit around. Uh, so yeah, it was named after Queen Berengaria of Navarre, by the way. Queen Berengaria was Spanish. I mean, as the name Navarre suggests. So yeah, I'm walking here. Let me show you. Let me turn the camera on. Okay, so this was something like, I'm trying to think whether this was a tennis court because you can see the lines. Let's go down. So my account shows a lot of art related to dystopian places. So this is a dystopian. Yeah, it's a tennis court. Okay, I was right. You can see the lines. So let me try to focus. So okay. This is the line. This one, you can see my foot. Can you? Yeah, that's the line for the singles game, and this is the line for the doubles game. Okay, and the net was. Let's see. The net must have been, yeah, here. So you can see the post. So the net was down here. So there was a tennis court. Okay, and you can kind of see the hotel in the background. It used to be a site where people came and just did graffiti on the walls, I think, and stuff like that. Shame on me for not visiting this place before. This is the first time in my life I come here. Okay, and let me show you the mountains in the background so you get a feeling of how high up we are. So you see, that's the mountain. Okay, so maybe in a future episode I will cover a little bit the geology of Cyprus. So Cyprus is also famous geologically. So many famous geologists, I think, want to come here and study the rocks found on Mount Troodos, as it's called. Okay, and the reason I believe is that it was part of an ancient ocean in one of those geological eras when the Earth was consisting just of a single continent, I believe. But I don't know. I'm not a geologist, guys. I'm a physicist. So most of these things I know because I'm curious by nature. So I mean, I'm not an authority on anything else than physics, and I mean, even in physics, I'm not really an authority. So, but anyway, you get the drift. You get the idea. So I'm gonna walk down, and maybe I'm gonna show you the village around the hotel. Okay, again, this has nothing to do with. I mean, King Richard and Queen Berengaria probably never made it up here. I don't even know if this village existed back during that time. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna cut the video now, and I'm gonna film a few shots from elsewhere. So see you guys. Bye. Okay, guys, I was hoping that it wasn't going to be windy today, but what are you gonna do? You're next to the sea, so it's windy. And actually, it reinforces the reason why I'm making this video today, because let me turn the camera around, okay, because you will see something. So let me tell you about this shipwreck for now. So it's called MV Dimitrios II, okay. It ran aground on March the 23rd of 1998. Here in Chlorakas, actually, it's a village next to Paphos, okay. And it was a Greek-owned cargo ship built in Germany, okay. And it carried a Honduran flag, and it carried timber from Greece, and it was supposed to take the timber to Syria, okay. And the problem was that it ran into a night storm, and the crew was four Greeks, 2 Syrians, and 2 Pakistanis. And they were rescued by a British base helicopter. Okay, so there were no fatalities. And the reason why they shipwrecked, apart from the bad weather, was that the captain of the ship, the Greek captain and the Pakistani first officer, it was found that their seafaring certificates were forged. Okay, so they were not pretty suitable for the job. I don't know. These people are probably still alive, so I don't want to say anything bad about them. But okay, this is something that happened. Okay, and this is it for this video. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna upload it to Instagram, but it's I'm mainly filming these videos to make a YouTube video that's gonna be a little bit longer, and it's gonna discuss something from the medieval history of Cyprus related to, as I said, King Richard the Lionheart. So I'm gonna cut here, and we're gonna continue from a second location. Okay, guys, I hope you can hear me. So this is the second video, and this one is a little bit more special because you can see the shipwreck behind me. Okay, so I'm trying to be careful about where I'm stepping because it's a little bit rocky here, literally. Okay, so this shipwreck, okay, and maybe I will turn the camera in a moment, but you can kind of see it, right? Okay, so it's a large ship. And let me read through my notes. This is called the Erdo 3, okay, shipwreck. And it left Limassol on December the 7th in 2011, so it's recent. And it was going to Rhodes carrying plasterboard, okay. It was a Sierra Leone flagged cargo ship. It was built in Norway in 1966. What else do I have here? It lost control in a storm, ran aground early on October the 8th of 2011. Something's wrong about the dates. It's probably October the 7th that it left. Anyway, something's wrong about the dates. I will fix it in case the dates here are wrong. The crew was consisting of 9 people. 7 Albanians and 2 Egyptians, and again they were rescued by a British military helicopter from the Agrodiri naval base, and no injuries. Okay guys, we are here in Limassol, okay, where is the scene of the crime, and I'm gonna show you in a moment what I mean by that. But this, I believe, is not, I mean, the location where I am right now is not the location where the shipwreck happened. Now, which shipwreck am I talking about? So in April 1191, okay, so it's almost 1,000 years ago, Richard the Lionheart's fleet was sailing from Messina, okay, and they were heading to today's Middle East, somewhere in Syria, I believe, to participate in the Crusades. I think it was the Third Crusade. I'm not an authority on that, so you will have to do your own research. Sorry. So, but the thing is that his ships, I mean his fleet, ran into a storm. Okay, like this is a story as long as time when it comes to Cyprus, and some of the ships were scattered and wrecked on the shores. Okay, I'm gonna show you the shore here in Limassol in a moment, but this is not the location. Okay, I don't know where the actual location is. I can probably look it up, do my research and figure out the exact location, but that will take time and money. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you Limassol. Okay, so we are in modern Limassol right now. So in these ships, okay, there was his sister, who was the freshly widowed queen of Sicily. Okay, her name was let me check my notes, Joanna, and in another ship, I think it was his mother and his fiancé, okay, Berengaria of Navarre. So his mother did the thing. I mean, she found the bride, and the bride was on the fleet with Richard, and I don't know what the plan was actually, but the story brought them here in Cyprus, okay. And the story is that the ruler of Cyprus at the time was Isaac Komnenos, who was a Byzantine nobleman, okay, a Greek, who literally showed up here in Cyprus a few years earlier and claimed to have papers that made him the ruler of Cyprus or the owner of Cyprus or something like that. I don't know how you could pull things like that off. I want to know how, because I want to show up in an island and take it off. But okay, it happened. So this man tried to capture the fleet of Richard, okay, and so he would ask for ransom, okay. So I don't know, take it as you like. So yeah, so all this happened, and Richard the Lionhearted eventually came to Cyprus to free his wife, his future wife, and his mother and his sister from Komnenos. This led to a war, actually, okay, between Komnenos and Richard, and the story is that Richard the Lionhearted won the war and captured Cyprus, actually, and then he passed it on to a French nobleman called Guy de Lusignan, who was the king of Jerusalem at the time. Okay, so shame on me, but I don't really know the history very well, so I will have to do more research to tell you more accurate historical facts. Okay, but yeah, so that's the story, and all this happened in 1191, and the romantic part of the story, and I'm gonna show you in a while, was that they married here in Limassol, okay? So that made Berengaria the first and only queen of England that was crowned outside of England, okay? The physical location does not exist anymore. It was a chapel. Let me check my notes. Yeah. So they married at the Chapel of St. George here in Limassol. It's inside the medieval castle. It was inside the medieval castle. It doesn't exist anymore. But I'm gonna show you the castle, and I'm gonna show you the shore, and little bit of Limassol in a moment. So yeah, this is it for me. I'm gonna turn the camera to the streets and we will continue, okay? So this is modern Limassol pretty much, okay? And we will walk towards the castle, okay? So I'm just gonna leave the camera on. Maybe later I will change the narrative, but let's walk to the castle, okay? Okay guys, this is the castle actually, and we are entering. I'm not gonna enter the castle. I'm gonna leave that for a future episode because all these things that I'm doing are currently experimental. So I'm not sure how well they will come off. But yeah, so this is the medieval castle. Again, this is the scene of the marriage of Richard the Lionhearted with Berengaria. Okay. Again, the chapel does not exist. This is a medieval castle, as it's called. So I assume maybe it was built later. Probably, judging from the... Okay, I should know these things, but I don't. Probably Italian, Venetian, something like that. So, yeah, so this is it. I'm gonna stop the video here. Okay guys, and this is the outro to the video, and I chose to show you around the Turkish neighborhood of Limassol. Okay, so as has been hinted in this video, Cyprus is in a location, excuse me, that historically attracted anyone and everyone from the Middle East and Europe. I mean, anyone who wanted to be anything in this world wanted to have a piece of Cyprus up until this day. And the reason is the geographical location. You are next to the Middle East. It's the easternmost border of Europe and the westernmost border of the Middle East and Asia. Okay, actually, geographically, it belongs to Asia. Also, North Africa is close, so it's in the middle of everything, pretty much. Okay, so Ottoman Turks came to Cyprus in 1578. I think I should know these things by heart, but okay, it's for sure in the 1500s. Okay, the exact date I believe is 1578, but please check. So, since this is a very sensitive political topic up to this day, I'm only gonna mention that sadly, the Republic of Cyprus, the modern Republic of Cyprus, was founded in 1960 with both the Greek Cypriots, like me, and the Turkish Cypriots participating in the state. There were problems with the state that led the Turkish Cypriots to leave in 1963. And the way I say it sounds political already. Okay, so the reason they left is political, and okay, there were lots of problems between the two communities and intercommunal violence and stuff like that. From 1963 to 1974, which led to an even more sad invasion of Cyprus by Turkey in 1974, and Turkey annexed the northern part, and the two communities are now separated. Okay, there is a buffer zone in the middle of the island almost. The capital is divided, etc. But anyway, I don't want to talk about all these things. I want to talk about whenever I walk in the Turkish neighborhood of Limassol or Paphos, because there is one in Paphos as well, I feel sad because I feel like the people who belong to this neighborhood do not live in this neighborhood anymore. Okay, so that's really sad, and I wanted to end the video with the big mosque in Limassol, Megalon Zami, as it's called in Greek. I have the Turkish name, and I'm gonna attempt it. It's called Jami Kebir, something like that in Turkish. Turkish friends who are watching this, or Turkish Cypriots, please uh, write in the comments if the pronunciation is correct. And I, by all means, I don't want this to be political. I actually want Cyprus to be united at some point again, with both communities living together. And there are other communities in Cyprus as well, the Armenians and the Maronites. So, anyway, this is the Jami. I think it's closed for renovation. Maybe it's done. I know that they were fixing it and renovating it, but I want to stop the video here just because I want to show you this.